Alright, the next project we're going to be doing out of Tom's book, 20-Minute Whittling Projects. And this is the book, folks, that I told you about. And we're doing the projects over. And $10.95 from Amazon or whoever sells them. And well, Fox Chapel puts them out. It's a great book. Great book on whittling small figures, and Tom's an expert at that. And we've done the little fox, we've done the bear, and now today we're going to do the horse, the little horse that we have here. And it is also made out of 3/4 inch basswood, cut out of 3/4 inch basswood, and there's a little pattern. And as you can see, the little dot lines tells you where you're going to be separating the pieces from one another. And so I've got the cutout here. All right. Now, I already drew the little tail on him. Now, an easy way to kind of draw it on the other side is you just take it and run this across this way, and then from there go down and do your tail, in other words. And this is where, this is taken from the original pattern, where the head separates. So you just draw your little line across there and go like this. There you go. There you are. Okay. And of course, here and here are the lines. So on this side, it will be here and here that the lines are. Okay? All right. Now, this little horse, it's going to be a good project because a lot of people like them. A lot of people like horses and stuff like that. Now, we can do what Tom tells us to do. We put the little, you put your little center line. Mine ain't perfect, but and you from each side, you look and see how well you're carving. So I'm going to go ahead and separate the head from. Now, once again, let me remind you that when you cut this project out, you want the grain to be going this way. Okay? Because when you get down the legs, you don't want the grain running this way. You don't want them running that way, because you'll break it. You'll have a real rough time doing it. So you want your grain going this way. All right. Let's go ahead and just separate that and come over here and do the same thing. Now, everybody likes the little horse. In other words, if you can carve a bunch of these for kids or just for people. I always say kids, but I tell you what, adults like it just the same. All right, we're gonna. Now let's go ahead and make our little cut in here. Okay, we're going to go like this, and we make our little cut here. I'm sorry, and we just make our little cut. Okay, and we just shave that off a little bit right in there. And same thing here. And same thing here. All that is just kind of separating the legs from the piece is all. And of course, now the tail, it would be very good to draw a center line on your tail, because your tail is something that you're going to, and you take your knife and you come on this side And you remove a little wood. Okay? Not hard. Remove a little wood. Now, of course, the bottom of the tail is going to come more to a point. We come on this side. And we remove a little wood. Now, of course, the tail, let me draw it for you. It's going to come like this, in other words. It's going to come, the bottom of the tail is going to come kind of at a point a little bit, but not a real strong point, but let me show you just a minute. And so like that. And you're going to remove a little wood in here. Remove a little wood in here. See? See how it comes? Now you can even come a little bit more. As it's going. Alright, and then you come up here. And of course, as you look at the tail the whole time. Of course, it's too thick. So we want to bring it down some. There it goes. See where it kind of, and then as it goes to the, it goes to the, it goes to the back of the horse, or the tail end of the horse. It will, of course, get smaller, like that. See? So you just kind of work it. Now the tail, let me warn you, you see how the wood changes, the grain changes, so you want to be careful. You don't want to get too rambunctious, and so you just take a little bit off at a time. That's it. A little bit off at a time. See? And you're almost there. You really don't have to take a whole lot off. I'll get the body down too, and then we'll kind of, I need to bring it down a little bit more, I will. See the tail? It's still a little too thick. We want to bring this down in here. Now you're going to have to come this way. See how you have to come this way with it? Because it's going to, the grain changes. I remember carving an alligator one time, and I'm going to tell you something. The tail on that alligator, the grain changed so many times. It was frustrating. I'm telling you, I mean, you couldn't remove even a ½ inch or something, and the grain would change on you. You'd come close to breaking it. It was just really a tough sale. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the legs like I did the other ones. You can do it any way you want to. I'm just going to do it that way. I'm not. Tom made it easier for beginners and people, and you can do that or you don't have to. It doesn't matter. I just want to do it, okay? And I'm sure Tom doesn't mind. Tom don't mind at all. He's a he's a heck of a teacher, and he's a very good friend, and I'm amazed at his arcs that he does. He just really does a superb job, and they're just really, really great to see. A lot of work. I'm gonna tell you something. When you carve an arc, when you build an arc, and you carve the animals on it, that's a lot of work. I'm gonna tell you something. It is. So I'm not actually going to separate the legs all that much. I'm just going to cut this into here because I want to. And then we're just going to, there we go, just kind of get the back here. And I've never attempted to arc. I guess I could do it, but I've never attempted to do it because it's just so many little characters to do. And I'm not as good an animal carver as I feel I am as far as human beings. I mean, as far as figures, I like to carve figures. I'm not a big animal carver, but these are a lot of fun that he has accumulated here. I'm gonna cut that tail down just a little bit more on one side. And I'm gonna do the same over here. There we go. As I bring these legs down. Tom is an excellent animal carver. He really is. And a figure carver as well. Okay, I'm going to just kind of do the horse here, and I'm going to come up here and do the same thing. Also here, here's about where the legs should come up to, so I'm gonna just do that. See, in the back, all I'm doing is I'm just separating just a little bit. I'm not having to actually cut them in half. You can if you want to, but I just wanted to separate them a little bit. I piddle, folks. I mean, I get into something, I start piddling too much sometimes. And you don't, like I said, you don't have to do this. Tom's got a very unique way of doing it where you just don't have to separate the legs. And when you get into this area and you're separating the legs now, okay, make sure your knife is sharp and be very, very, very careful, because this is easy breakage in this area. And if your knife is sharp, then you're not going to have any problem. If it's not, you might run into some areas. And I know why Tom's doing it, because the wood is thin. It is. The wood is very, very thin in this area. 3/4 is not very thick, folks. That's what I do my little 3-inch figures out of. Okay. Now, on the horse, these areas in here, we're going to bring those back, of course. Those are the hoofs. I always put my hand like this a little bit, and then I come forward like this. There we go. Just like that. See that? And I'm going to do it on this side. You want to be real careful. Don't put a lot of pressure in here. Please don't. This is very, very thin in here. And that's why Tom, like I said, and especially when you get into this area here, behind, to get the knife in there. So I'm just going to pull this, then I'm going to come this way, I'm going to cut down, I'm going to come on the other side, and I'm going to cut down. And all I'm going to do is just make a V cut in there where it looks like the legs are just a little bit separated, that's all. I'm not going to go all the way through the well, if you wanted to, you could take a coping saw. You can't hardly do it with a bandsaw, because as you begin to cut with a bandsaw, you can come up a little ways, but you don't want to cut your tail either. You don't want to do that. I don't like using a bandsaw to cut like that anyway. It can catch and stuff. All right. Also, right here. Now, as you can see, getting back here in these legs is pretty tough. So I'm just going to be very, very, and then I'm going to come here, and I'm just going to separate that a little bit by cutting a V cut in there. Not actually separating the legs, but just cutting the V cut. And that's going to, there it is. Look at that, see? All right, let me get this taken care of here. We're going to take some off here. Yeah, Tom, he does all the animals for the ark. He does lions and tigers and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen one of his arks, and they are just, like I said, they're wonderful pieces. I got a lot of respect for animal carvers. I'm not like I said, I'm not one of the best when it comes to animals. I guess if I spend a lot of time doing it, I might become better at it. But I don't do a lot of animals, as y'all know. I do more figures and stuff, and that's what's great about it. Go to a carving show, and everybody does something different. It's okay. Now we want to make another cut in here where the horse is. We're going to cut a little bit in here. We're shaping it just a little bit in there. And we're going to come in here and we're going to just kind of get those saw marks off there. See, even here, as you do here, it begins to change the grain. So you want to be careful. You really do. You want to be careful. We'll take a little bit more off that tail. See? And I'm going to bring that tail more to a little point. Then there we go. And see how very slowly I take just a little bit off, and I think that's going to do it right there. And basically, and Tom says in the book, to use the tip of your knife. When you get into small figures or small things, a small detail, the tip of your knife is probably the best friend to you as a carver, because and if you get you a good knife that sharpens well and stuff, you can keep it sharpened by honing it, and when you keep it sharpened, it becomes a friend to you then. Becomes a friend, not an enemy like a lot of. I remember when I first started carving, whoa, I didn't know how to sharpen knives or nothing. My knife was an enemy to me. And then you get crazy if you don't learn how. A lot of us as carvers,